Managing cloud infrastructure today, it feels a lot like trying to pilot a plane through a hurricane with a map you drew by hand. It's just chaotic, it's super complex, and honestly, it feels like you're just waiting for something to go wrong. But what if? What if you had a clear, real-time command center for everything? That's what we're going to dig into today, how to turn that blinding cloud chaos into crystal clarity.
So here's the game plan. First, we'll talk about the problem, that cloud chaos. Then, we'll introduce Cloudshot, the unified solution. After that, we'll dive into all the cool stuff it does for DevOps, FinOps, SecOps, and even some next-gen ideas like resiliency and green operations. And finally, we'll see how this all adds up to a total transformation for any organization.
All right, so let's get right into it, the chaos. Why is managing the modern cloud so ridiculously hard? Well, the short answer is it's not just one cloud anymore. It's a whole multi-cloud universe. And that creates some pretty major headaches for pretty much everyone. Does this feel familiar to you? Your teams are constantly bouncing between different consoles, trying to piece together a puzzle when half the pieces are missing. And you're left with this nagging feeling that you have almost no real visibility into what's actually going on.
It's a constant battle, isn't it? You're juggling all these different platforms, and each one has its own special set of tools, its own dashboards. It feels like you have to check a dozen different screens just to get a basic health check on your environment. It's just fragmented, and it's so inefficient.
Okay, so this is exactly where Cloudshot comes into the picture. It's a platform that was literally built from the ground up to cut through all that noise, all that fragmentation, and bring a real sense of order and intelligent control back to your cloud. So what is Cloudshot? Well, think of it like a single pane of glass for your entire multi-cloud world. It pulls together all the key parts of your operations: DevOps for building, FinOps for costs, SecOps for security, and even things like ResOps for reliability and GreenOps for sustainability, all into one smart system. Just imagine having one command center for your entire digital ecosystem. And when we say unified, we really mean it. We're talking about full support for all the big players: AWS, Azure, and GCP. It even pulls in billing info from SaaS platforms like Microsoft 365. So you finally get that one, true, unified view of your entire cloud spend and setup. Let's see how this actually works, and we'll start with DevOps, because this is where Cloudshot does something incredible. It turns your infrastructure from this confusing, static thing into a dynamic, interactive environment that you can actually work with. This right here is the live infrastructure diagram, and it's an absolute game changer. First, you can see everything, every single service, every connection, all the dependencies, all in one spot. Second, you can actually manage your stuff right from the diagram, change configurations on the fly. And third, you can execute tasks, like starting or stopping a resource without ever having to leave this view.
And that's the whole point, right? It's not just some map you look at, it's a living, breathing control panel you can work from. Your infrastructure becomes visual and actionable.
Now get this. With just one click, you can download the complete blueprint for your entire infrastructure as code using Terraform. This is unbelievably powerful. You can use it to replicate your setup, recover from a disaster, or heck, even move to a different cloud provider. Your live cloud suddenly becomes a reusable, portable asset. But DevOps is really just the beginning. Cloudshot brings that same mind-blowing level of clarity and control to two other huge areas. For FinOps, it all starts right here, with this beautiful, centralized cost overview. You can finally see your spend across AWS, Azure, and GCP all in one dashboard. You can slice and dice the data however you want, by service, account, region. At last, you know exactly where every single dollar is going. But Cloudshot goes way, way deeper than just pretty charts. It gives you those tiny, granular details on things that are notoriously hard to track, like data transfer charges or per gigabyte pricing. I mean, trying to find this stuff in the native cloud consoles can take hours of digging. Here, it's all in one place. Look, visibility is great, but taking action is where you find the real money. The Optimization Center doesn't just show you what you're spending. It uses AI to give you smart recommendations. It tells you exactly what to do, like, hey, downsize this server, or delete that old snapshot, and even tells you what the estimated savings will be. Now let's flip over to SecOps. The Compliance Center is constantly scanning your entire environment against all the major security frameworks, like CIS or HIPAA. You get this instant, color-coded status of your compliance, so there are absolutely no surprises when an audit comes around.
And when a control does fail, you get everything you need on one screen. I'm talking the severity, when it was detected, the business risk, exactly which resources are affected, and, most importantly, step-by-step instructions on how to fix it. Security stops being just a long list of alerts and becomes an actual, actionable workflow. But Cloudshot doesn't just stop at the basics. It helps you get ready for the future of operations with two really innovative modules: Resiliency Ops, or ResOps, which is all about making sure your systems stay up and running, and GreenOps, which helps you build a more sustainable cloud. So what is ResOps? Basically, it proactively answers the question, which of our systems are fragile right now before they fail? It sorts your applications into these four simple states, from healthy all the way to critical, based on things like redundancy and configuration changes. It's like an early warning system that helps you prevent outages instead of just reacting to them.
And then you've got GreenOps. As sustainability becomes a really core business metric, this is so important. The CO2 emissions report takes your abstract cloud usage and translates it directly into its real-world carbon footprint. It gives you the hard data you need to track, reduce, and report on your environmental impact, right alongside performance and cost.
So, when you bring all of these powerful pieces together, DevOps, FinOps, SecOps, ResOps, and GreenOps, what does that transformation actually look like for your organization as a whole? It all comes down to this: the Cloudshot advantage. You get smarter, more automated operations. You get lower, more predictable costs. You get a much stronger, more compliant security posture. You get higher system resilience. And you get a clear path to sustainable cloud growth. It's a complete operational transformation, all driven from a single platform. And that really leaves us with one final thought. Instead of constantly fighting fires and navigating all that chaos, just imagine for a second, what could your teams build? What could they innovate? What could they achieve if they had total cloud clarity? What would that unlock for you?